Feeding your indoor plants is very important because they are most of the times inside the house. So what happens is they don't get that fresh air which is outside, or that light or which is outside, or even the rainwater that is outside. They don't get it that much. So we have to make sure that we do feed our indoor plants frequently so that they grow properly and they can give new leaves, new flowers, or whatever variegation they have, they can just maintain it. Let us today see what is the easiest way to fertilize our indoor plants. Few tips that I would give before I fertilize my plant is, because I will be fertilizing my indoor plants and I will mix the fertilizer in the water, I have to make sure that when I am fertilizing my plant, the soil is dry. I will never fertilize when the soil is wet or even moist, because if I do that, that will give fungal attack, or that might, just kill the roots. I have to make sure the roots are not moist or wet, so that when I fertilize, the roots can easily absorb the water. Now also you have to make sure that when you fertilize your plants, it's not very hot day. So if the temperature is more than 30 degrees Celsius, that is not a good day to fertilize. You have to probably wait for a day which is not that hot. Or if you are not able to get such day, what you can do is fertilize your plants in the evening later part, around when the temperature is down, so that they get few hours to absorb that fertilizer I mean. And by the time it starts getting hotter, the plant has actually absorbed a lot of nutrients from the fertilizer. But the best time according to me to fertilize your indoor plants is just before it starts getting warmer in your country. So if it is winter season, most of the indoor plants are in their dormancy phase, they are sleeping. There is absolutely no need to fertilize your plants in winter season, but please make sure that you do fertilize your plants in spring and summers, and that too once in a month. More than that is not required, because over fertilizing will also kill your plants. The fertilizer that I use for my indoor plants is the Seaweed Fertiliser, which is my favorite, and it has done a lot of magic for a lot of indoor plants of mine. We will put the link of this in the description below. You can purchase it from there or anywhere you want. There are different types of seaweed fertilizers like sea soul and seaweed and what all available. You can just go for any of them. So the first thing I would do is I would take my watering can which I use to water my plants, and then it has some water in it, and then I'll just put the fertilizer in it. So this is the cap that is available, and I will take 1/4 of the cap. This is actually 1/4 of the cap. I'll put it in the watering can, and I will fill the watering can with cold water. I make sure that I have filled the entire can, which is approximately 6 to 7 glasses of water. So 1/4 of the cap goes with 6 to 7 glasses of water. That is how you have to dilute your fertilizer, because if you keep it concentrated, your plant roots might die. So I would say if you're starting, if you're a beginner, just use very little fertilizer, let's say 3-4 drops, and then just dilute it with like 2 glasses of water. Now whenever I fertilize my indoor plant, I will make sure that all 4 sides of the plant are easily accessible, because I just don't want to fertilize on one side and leave the other sides, because the roots on other side may not get the nutrients. Also, when you fertilize, put very little water like this. If you can have a look, that's it. If I put a lot of water in the plant, what happens is the water will start coming out from the drainage holes, and then there is no point, because even the fertilizer will come out of the drainage holes. So water, but very little, just so that that water sticks inside the soil and the roots can absorb the nutrients from the fertilizer. I'll give you one more example. So this is my mini monstera. This is how I will fertilize. That's it, because I know that whatever water is there, it was not enough that the water will reach down the drainage holes and start coming out. It will stay inside the soil, and my plant has got the nutrients. Also, the reason I like the seaweed fertilizer is for the simple reason that it has nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, all three in very good amount, and these three are very important. Along with that, it also has calcium and magnesium, which is again important for a lot of plants. So it's good to fertilize your indoor plants using seaweed fertilizer. This is my palm. I will fertilize it from all 4 sides. It's a bigger pot, so I have to make sure that good amount of fertilizer goes in there. This is again my palm, very little fertilizer. That's it. So by now you must have realized that it is actually not difficult to fertilize your indoor plants. This is what I do and it has been working well for me. So there is not really much pain or much work to do. It doesn't, make your house messy, or it will also not invite any sort of flies or any insects in your house because of this fertilizer. So make sure you fertilize your indoor plants in the correct amount, in the correct season and the correct time of the year, because if these things are taken care of, that's when the plants will show that okay, they have got their food and they will start growing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press that like button. If you're not part of this family, do subscribe this channel, and I'll see you next time with the next video. Bye for now.